really struck me. There is one particular key takeaway. And interestingly, sometimes we come to conferences to find answers, but for me, every time I go to a conference, I'm looking to actually come away with questions, with unanswered questions, because that's what drives me on. And so for me, one of the key questions is, seeing that as Siyaphumelela, data is is at the core of our model, how can we reimagine and evolve our data model to evolve to predictive analytics? So it's not just about collecting the data, but it's how can we evolve to start to be able to provide meaningful, useful data to the decision makers and everybody else who needs the data to make those decisions in real time, to identify the key risks for student success and mitigate them and address them before they actually occur. Because that's how we will start to really, in the classical public health adage, prevention is better than cure. And on a personal note, as I said on Tuesday, this work is more than professional for me. It's deeply personal, and I continue to carry the legacy of my mother, whose dream of education lives on in every student that walks through the doors of all of our institutions, inbound journey and outbound journey as go out back into the world. And I know many of you, probably almost all of you in this room and beyond, share similar stories. And that's what makes this work that we do so special. And so personally, I go away from this conference, the ever optimist, more hopeful and energized than before. And I hope that you enjoyed and had a very fruitful week, few days of learning and reflections. There is still, of course, so much to learn and do. We could go on for a month, but all things, as I said, at some point have to come to a pause. So we have to adjourn for now, but go back to the front lines, to the coal faces, and continue our powerful work in service of the people that we are here to serve, these students. So before closing, I wanted to take a moment on behalf of Saide and the Kresge Foundation as co-hosts of this conference, to express our deepest gratitude to the dozens and scores of people who has made this momentous event possible. So first to the Saide team that you see, so you can see we are quite a lean team, so I hope that that shows what lean and agile means. So to the Saide team, so starting with Ashton. So Ashton, so I will ask the Saide team as I call out your name, please show your hand so that the room can see you. So Ashton. So Ashton is our program lead for student success. So he's the engine driver for this whole program. And to Ephraim, so Ephraim, you're him. So Ephraim is our male monitoring, evaluation, research and learning and project management lead. And together with Ashton, they were the co-program directors of the whole conference, as you saw. To Alan, so Alan, as you heard from Jenny, she's the brains and the mastermind behind the IT, the technology that you see that's driving the conference. To Elias, so Elias is our workplace and productivity systems, and the DJ behind the last night's capping event. To Jenny, as I said, Jenny keeps saying every time I talk about that thing about riding on her shoulders, she says, why are you embarrassing me so much? And I said, Jenny, I will continue embarrassing you as long as those shoulders continue to be broad, because they are. You set the foundation for us. To Ku, so, oh yeah, Ku is here. So Ku for transitioning from DUT as part of the Siyaphumelela movement, but to coming to Saide and helping us with the organizing of the Dream Conference, to delivering this conference as well. Thank you. Thank you, Ku. To Sheila. So Sheila is our program lead for early childhood education. So Saide, we're working across the education continuum, as you know. And so as you know, early childhood is the foundation where everything starts. So thank you, Sheila, for being here. To Tony, Dr. Tony Lilliot. Tony is not here. He's our program lead for teacher education and development. So in absentia, thank you, Tony. To Sisi, where is Sisi? There she is. Sisi is our workplace administrator. She's the face and voice of Saide. So if you're calling Saide, if you're arriving at Saide, she's the first voice or face that you see. So thank you, Sisi. To Smangele, is Smangele here? So Smangele. Smangele is our program specialist for early childhood content, working with Sheila. So we have a particularly exciting initiative called African Storybook. And so the content that you see on that platform, Smangele is one of the people together with Sheila behind that exciting content. Alongside with Dorcas, who is not here with us, but she might be online, I think. Dorcas is in our Nairobi best half. And to go back to Maureen. So where's Maureen? So Maureen. So Maureen is our project management coordinator. So as you can see, so again, one of the engine drivers behind your travel, accommodation, logistics, everything. You would have noticed the last year as well, if we hadn't got your payment, Maureen is also our debt collector. So thanks, Maureen. To Marilla, so Marilla is here as well. Marilla, with her years and years of expertise and quiet and silent demeanor, but so quietly, so efficient and so knowledgeable, and a key part behind particularly the review of our presentations and abstracts and facilitation of some of the sessions. Thank you, Marilla. To Moses, where is Moses? Right, so. Moses is our project management assistant, so as you can see, working very much alongside Maureen, pulling the logistics and the mechanics behind the machine. To Mpumi, where is Mpumi? Mpumi is our accounts and payroll officer. She is everyone at Saide is just in deference to her, because if you are not in Mpumi's good books on the 25th, nothing will go into the bank account. So thank you, Mpumi. And alongside Mpumi is Sadia. Sadia is our senior finance manager. So again, behind all the finances and making sure that we are accountable and good steward of the resources that are entrusted into our care. So that's why you see Bill is always smiling, because you know the money is being taken care of. To Nomblelo, so where's Nomblelo? There she is. So Nomblelo is our executive secretary to the CEO and to the board of trustees. So again, she's also the engine behind the governance, our institutional knowledge and memory. But also, so particularly the DVCs and VCs, they will know that she's your go-to person when you're encountering any challenges. So thank you, Nomblelo, for taking care of our friends. And to Ntombi, so where is Ntombi? Oh, Ntombi is outside. So Ntombi is our workplace assistant. So she's just not here. So Ntombi, thank you once again for being a key part of the team. And then to Ndicheni, so there is Ndicheni there. So Ndicheni is our people and workplace lead. So she is the lead behind making sure that all of these people, so if they have contracts, basically. So if you're not in good books with Ndicheni, your contracts will be cancelled. So thank you, Ndicheni, for taking care of the team in every respect. And to Rashiada, so Rashiada, please. So Rashiada is a dream scholar, and she came all the way from the US specifically to help at this conference as part of the Saide team. So thank you, Rashiada, for traveling all the way and for being, so your motivation to our scholars, the smiling voice, and the constant card at the back there that says, your 5 minutes is up. So thank you, everyone. I didn't leave anyone, right? So I got everyone. So thank you very much, team. You may take your seats. So this wouldn't be complete. As I said, there is a long, long line of people that were key to making this conference a success. And so obviously, because of time limitations, I'm not going to be able to mention everyone by name, but I'll try in the time that is limited, at least to mention by group and category, and in some cases, the names. So the second group is our conference advisory group. So we had a group from the Siyaphumelela network that helped us with conceptualizing the theme, the topics, and so forth. So this wouldn't be possible without the brains behind that particular group. And so that advisory group was the trio of Francois. You now all know Francois. Riashna. So Riashna, she's still around in the room, and Elizabeth. So thank you very much for supporting the team. And then now I move to the core of the real, the people at the real coalface. I would like to start, obviously, with our students, because they are at the center of everything that we do. So I would like to thank the 45 students who joined us here this week, not only representing themselves, but for representing the millions and millions of the voices and hopes and aspirations and dreams of the other students out there. So thank you to the 45. Maybe I should say to the fantastic 45. That's how we should refer to you. And then next to our scholars, another group of students. I've just lost words now to describe you. So to Bulela, to Mbali, to Swahle, to Zoe, to Bradley, to Musa, to Blessing. So thank you for bringing your passions, for speaking from the heart, and most importantly, my words to you are that for showing vulnerability when you were telling your stories. Because you know what? Great leadership doesn't come from being a strong man or a strong woman. Great leadership comes from showing your vulnerability, because it only confirms you are human. And thank you to Still for supporting our scholars and being such an impassioned, so it's imprinted in my mind how you're pulling your jeans and reciting your poem and so forth. So thank you. And so, of course, this wouldn't be complete with the ultimate thanks to Diana for being for being not only a mentor, but an inspiration, a model to not just our scholars, for giving them the courage. Constantly, as they were showing their moments of vulnerability, I could see that the moment they casted their eye to you, they kind of recollected themselves. They are reminded that you are here with them. So thank you very much for accompanying our students. Another thanks also go to our 7 Siyaphumelela coaches, to Bala, Wendy, Ntaviseng, Thea, Elizabeth, Emien, and Norman. So thank you to these coaches. So as most of you would have seen there, once again, another silent force amongst the institutions, building on their decades and decades of experience and being so generous to share their experience with the institutions. Thank you to our coaches for being a part of the network. And now, of course, also thanks to our 20 partner universities, the coal faces at which everything is happening. So to the vice chancellors who managed to join us, those who couldn't join us, to our DVCs, to the institutional leads, particularly, because the institutional leads, so they're another group of really silent change makers that are at the core of the movement. And everyone else in student support staff, academic, research, library, and so forth. So thank you very much for making all this possible. We would also like to thank the other higher education institutions who joined us this week. We had from the other 6 members of the 26 public institutions, we had 3 who joined us this week. So thank you for taking your time to join us. We were also joined by one TVET institution, and we were also joined by one private higher education institution. So thank you for taking your time. So thank you as well to USAF. So USAF is the anchor and umbrella body of our 26 public universities. So to Dr. Matutu, I think she was here at some point, but to Teboho, who led the USAF team. So thank you for joining us and being part of the collaboration network. And to our keynote and guest speakers, the presenters, chairs, panelists, everybody was really at the core of making sure that the sessions, the plural sessions, the open plenary sessions went so smoothly. So thank you for helping to deliver the conference. To our government colleagues, ranging from the Department of Higher Education to NASFAS, to the Council on Higher Education, to Treasury colleagues who joined us either on the Tuesday session or in this conference as well. So thank you for your continued stewardship and continuing to shape the environment that makes all this work possible. To our partners in research, civil society, and private sector, particularly to Old Mutual, to Investec, for joining us in that very insightful session, conversation on with business and philanthropy. So thank you for continuing to help us expand this vision for what is possible. To our fellow travelers in the global movement, those who traveled from as far as the United States, from Eswatini, from New Zealand, and others, particularly Prof. Moran from the University of Canterbury. So thank you very much for traveling so long to be with us. Second last now, I also want to, because our online colleagues, I'm sure, I believe they are connecting as well. So thank you so much to everyone else that joined us online that couldn't be here. It's a wholly different world now, so we know that change doesn't only depend on being in the room, but with the affordances of technology that's making it possible for thousands and thousands of others to join us in the room. So thank you for connecting. And to the Saide Board of Trustees, so if I didn't do that, I would lose my job. They're my bosses. But to the Saide trustees, so of course for being the constant light, the guidance, the overseers for providing us the guidance, holding us accountable to ensure that we continue to be a sustainable and efficient organization fulfilling the purpose of our mission. Thank you for constantly being there for us. And finally, to Anna Blanding, Where's Anna? So Anna is there. So yeah, there she is. And Bill Moses, who is up here with me. From the Kresge Foundation, as we have been saying throughout the week, our generous, unwavering, and long-standing, faithful, loyal, thoughtful, critical, so all the superlatives that you can think of a partner, it is Kresge. So it is your belief in this work, in our ability to grow and expand it and make it forever impactful that has made it possible. So most of all, I think I can only say thank you for walking the journey with us. So,
Thank you, Innocent, and it is a pleasure to walk on this journey with you. And in fact, it's actually been more of a marathon. I think we're at 26 miles. We have a 1/10 of a mile left. We're almost there. I want to just commend Siyaphumelela's progress over the past decade. But I want to get a couple of audience questions. How many of you, this is the first Siyaphumelela conference you've ever attended? It's great. Thank you. How many of you have attended DREAM in the USA? Also a lot of people. Thank you. And if you're hoping to go to DREAM next year, make sure that the delegates that you'd like to nominate get settled very quickly. I think it's important to get those visa applications in early this time around. How many of you visited Georgia State? Also a lot of people in the room, which is great. So it's so wonderful to see all of you, some of you who have been with us the entire time, some who've been with us for a few years, and some who have just started the journey with us. And it's just so great to see, again, familiar faces and old faces, and so many new faces. Now, from the start, we've been about systemic and systematic change, and we have a unique partnership model between philanthropy and also between institutions, government, and organizations. And we grew out of the vision of your own VC leadership who said this is what we needed to do to improve South African higher education. And I want to thank everyone at Saide for all the hard work they do every day, and also for all the hard work they put into this marathon that they've been doing the last week. And as I was thinking about this transition that we've had, this evolution that we've had over the last decade or more, I thought about that Afrikaans word, "beter verwachting." And so I look at our poet laureate thinking about that, and it really has been beyond expectations. I don't think we ever would have imagined that this many people would be involved in student success. And so thank all of you for coming. I want to thank the voices of the scholars and the next generation of leaders who are with us. It's pretty exciting to me. Many of the people who are on the stage were people that were probably in graduate school or maybe even in undergraduate school when we started, who are now leaders in this movement. And it's really just wonderful. And for the faculty, administrators, and institutional leaders who support this comprehensive change, we really, really appreciate this hard work. And also, always remember that the final user is your student, and to keep that student-centeredness there. I also want to thank, again, all of you for coming and joining us, and with your commitment to student success. Kresge remains committed to student success, both here and in the United States, and to closing equity gaps to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to succeed and to contribute to their families, their intergenerational histories, and to their nation's prosperity and support. Higher education is a crown jewel in South Africa. It's also a crown jewel in the United States. It is key to social mobility and justice and building a strong economy and ensuring democratic values. The work you're all doing is keeping academic freedom, innovation, and social justice alive when it is under attack in many, many places. We will continue to ensure that our work in South Africa remains strong, and we welcome the chance to work with additional funding partners to keep it strong here in South Africa. There are just finally 4 things I'd ask you to remember from this conference. First, it's not about boutique or gourmet programs. That's the model that didn't work. It was a good try, but it didn't succeed fundamentally in making fundamental change. It's about using data, including student feedback, to identify problems, testing changes to see if something works, getting feedback from students and the data, and then scaling successful innovations across campuses, and maybe not scaling not so successful things that you see. You're seeking systemic change in a systematic way. You're also goal is not just to increase throughput, but to ensure, as Dr. Hannelie Andendorf said yesterday, I think, that graduates are capable, critical, and human. It's about the whole human being to contribute to the country. And we want you to use data analytics, predictive analytics, and AI as tools to make change, not as mandates. I hope you can all read Drew's white paper on the new rules for AI so that you have a really great guide, I think, to helping you figure out how to navigate this time. Think about the ethics of your institution and the ethics of your student and the ethics of your faculty to ensure that this data is used in a thoughtful and helpful way. Think about the unique comparative advantages South Africa has in relation to AI and ensuring that everyone benefits and that algorithms don't hold biases against people because of their race, gender, religion, sexuality, incomes, and disabilities, and so many other ways. You are uniquely positioned to provide a voice on this, particularly at this time. Think of your Constitution as leading this. Make sure that you get access or get hold of Won't Lose This Dream too, to give you insights into how you do make institutional change that can really not only make students better off, but make your institution stronger. Finally, this work can't succeed without collaboration. You are grouped in regional teams and in the national network. Ask others for advice and ideas. Remember to share your insights and information, including the lessons learned from your failures. Don't hoard or hide your insights and data. Remember, it's about the African proverb we've heard several times in the last several days. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far and make real change, go together. Going together is how Siyaphumelela ensures we meet the needs and dreams of South Africa and set the standards for student success globally. Thank you so much. Have a great trip home. Be inspired and energized. And I'm just so thrilled to have all of you here. I can't believe you're all here. Thank you. And that concludes.
Yeah, so as we just two final notes as we conclude. So Bill and I are going to talk about, so it's the next steps. So what's on the calendar next year? Bill, would you like to say a little bit about DREAM?
Sure. So DREAM is the big U.S. national conference on student success, focused mostly on community colleges. It's going to be held in Portland, Oregon. That's on the west coast of the United States. That's 7 hours. That's 10 hours difference from South Africa in the wintertime. And it will be in March instead of February. It's usually in the third week of February, but this year, for a variety of reasons, it will be the first week of March in Portland. And as I said, think about who might be the delegates from your teams and get started early on visas.
Okay. Thank you, Bill. And back to our own Siyaphumelela, please watch this space. We will be announcing the venue for Siyaphumelela 2026 and the exact dates very soon. So given by the way things are going, we don't know if this venue will be big enough for next year. So stay tuned. And thank you very much. Travel safely and see you in 2026.